Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday evening. I'm Chris Williams, filling in for Mike Flood. Honestly, surprised he let me because we have polka tonight. Mike Flood's favorite. You guys have been here. They were here. The Jim Kucera band was here in June. They're back now, and we have Jim, Josh, and Tim. Jim and Tim, a little confusing here. We also almost didn't have Tim running out to turn off his car in the parking lot
I swear
at the last
running,
minute.
Man. I'm not kidding.
And so we have the band here, but before we get into everything, I do a couple things to talk about. Our volleyball game tomorrow night is no longer happening. You guys know how fun coronavirus is, so we have to change the schedule, but that's all right because we have Quarantine Replay coming your way tomorrow night. We have polka music tonight, so all is good here on News Channel Nebraska. And this trio right here, before we get into it, you guys have been together for a long time, since before he'd even graduated high school. So let's start with
89.
Well, we were playing before he was born.
You're playing.
Yeah.
So Jim and Tim, just remind us, because you were here 4 months ago. That's a long time ago.
It is a long time.
Where are you guys from? How do you guys know each other?
Well, we both were in high school in Wilbur, Claytonia. Tim was a year ahead of me in high school, and we kind of started the band summer of before my senior year.
Yep.
You had already graduated, right?
Yes.
And we just kind of played check days and Wilbur check days, and it kind of just took off from there. So.
Just your classic high school sweetheart situation, but then you
Well, I'm married to my high school sweetheart, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's not Tim.
You know, it's not me, you know.
And does she never plays with you? She doesn't
She
do.
used to. When we had Deb played, my wife Deb, before we were married, yeah. When she was in high school, she played in the band, absolutely, yeah.
And then
Oddly enough, my wife used to play in the band as well.
She did as well. Deb and Kathy were a terrific saxophone clarinet tandem, so.
You should have brought him up here tonight.
We should have, you know.
Yeah, well.
I'm getting old and forgetful on things. You know? Tim may have mentioned that.
And then we have Josh in the middle here. He's the most recent addition. Tell me how you added him, since he wasn't even born when you guys first started playing together.
Well, I used to play at his uncle's cafe in Prague, Kolach Corner, and he'd have an accordion player come every Friday night to play, and Mark would always provide the tuba player and drummer to help keep costs down, which I was cool with because I always knew that I would have Jim, Josh's uncle, on tuba, and Josh on drums. And Josh, the first gig I played there at Kolach Corner, Josh was, I believe, in 6th grade.
Probably.
And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, man, this kid's going to be really good. And we had an opening in 2008. Our longtime drummer, Yoda, had to leave for business reasons with his new business that he was going to start up, and we supported him with that. And we were, in fact, on the way to a gig here to play for an anniversary dance here. And we were talking about who we going to replace Yoda with, and it came to us both at the same time, Josh. And Josh subbed for us that night, and that's when we kind of asked him, hey, would you be interested? We're going to have this opening. So.
And so, Josh, for you, obviously you've been playing since you were young, but
Yeah.
you grew up around them playing and your dad playing. Were you nervous to just join them on a whim like that?
No. I've been playing drums in polka bands since I was 5. So 25, 26 years. So to me, this kind of music just comes naturally. And if anything, it was just more of excitement of being able to play more gigs and, you know, make a little money on the side and just get to travel. I mean, we've gone up to Wisconsin, we've played in Des Moines, we've played up in South Dakota, Kansas. I mean, all over. And so no, it wasn't scary or anything like that. It was an awesome opportunity. So.
Well, you're obviously a great fit with the band. Everyone loved you last time they were on. Of course, you know how much Nebraskans love their polka. So why don't we just get right into the music? How does that sound?
Sounds great. One thing we want to follow up on later on, Josh's grandfather, Adolf Nimitz, had a very popular band here in Nebraska. I don't think we could go on without mentioning that. Very good band. So we need to follow up on that later.
We'll come back to that. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Here we go. I'm Prosit, I'm Prosit, Vermutlich I'm Prosit, Vermutlich 1, 2, 3, Gzuffa, Ziki Zaki, Ziki Zaki. Ziki Zaki, Ziki Zaki. Guacamole.
Guacamole!
Karen.
Karen! Karen.
Who the heck is Karen? Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
Hey, we have one more Ziki. Ziki Zaki, Ziki Zaki. There we go. Prost. Everybody at home, Prost. I didn't have long enough of an arm to get the other beverage.
I can't reach mine either.
We had to do that to start things off because it is Oktoberfest season. So I hope everyone is having a good Oktoberfest season. We're going to get things going here with a tune we always start our gigs with, a good Czech tune. This is Clover by the Water, polka. Clover by the Water. Here we go. 1, 2, 2. Roste u vody. Proč k nám, můj hosiče, proč k nám nechodí? Snad k nám zase cestu najde, až ten kosu zajde, jetelíček u vody. Snad k nám zase cestu najde, až ten kosu zajde, jetelíček u vody. Clover by the agua, clover by the water. You bet. Hope you enjoyed that at home. We're going to go to a nice German tune. And hey, by the way, I have my computer here. We're going to be interacting with you. So, you know, we tried that a couple weeks ago. We did a virtual gig from my garage. And if you watched that, you saw all kinds of cool things like my garage door closed because it was on timer. And then after I reopened it, you saw me run with accordion on. Never try that at home. Never run with an accordion on. That would be terrible.
That would be awful.
Yeah. And then secondly, right after I reopened that garage door, we were in the middle of our first song. A bat flew from the back of the garage. The back garage door was open, flew across right by me. And I'm like, wow. Only in polka music can you get that kind of entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. So we don't know what's going to happen here, but brace yourselves. We don't know. Here we go. Polka time. Anyway, we did try that, making contact with everybody online and sending tunes out to people that we knew were listening and made comments, and worked out really well during that virtual gig. So we're going to do it again. Here we go with a good German tune. Stay in the Oktoberfest season. This is Mulebauer, Builder of Mills polka. Giving you 2, 1, 2. Yep, yep, go. Here we go. Hey, the Mule Bauer polka, you bet, with a little Slovenian twist on the ending there for you. We're going to change pace. I'm going to change button accordions here, and we're going to give you a beautiful Czech waltz, one of my favorites, the When We Parted waltz, When We Parted. Here we go, guys. One, two, three. Když jsem šel od vás, byl překrásný čas. Když jsem šel od vás, byl překrásný čas. Kapr se ve vodě házel, když se milovi provázel nás. Dnes už naposled. Kapr se ve vodě házel, když se milovi provázel nás. Dnes už naposled. Andu komila, máš-li mě ráda. Andu komila, máš-li mě ráda. Uč mě klíček od srdíčka zuhlíbám, já tvoja líčka nás. Dnes už naposled. Uč mě klíček od srdíčka zuhlíbám, já tvoja líčka nás. Dnes už naposled. the beautiful When We Parted waltz. Grisem shallowed vas. Hope you enjoy that. Remember, continue making comments. I need to open up, see a lot of likes. You know, be careful. There was a confusion in one gig. I don't remember who it was. They opened up their app, and the number on the bottom is the number of people that like News Channel Nebraska. And what a following News Channel Nebraska has. When we played here in June, it was like 35,000, and now it's like over 42,000. That's amazing. That's awesome. I know that I downloaded the app on my Fire Stick, so make sure you do that. If you're watching at home on your computer, make sure, or your phone, make sure you go to your device and download the app. It's on there, and take advantage of all the great programming they do have on News Channel Nebraska. But the top number is how many you really actually have, and you know, we're at 2.
Hey,
No, we're not at 2. But
that's better than none.
no, we're well over 2. But
Your wife and mine.
yeah, Kathy and Deb, yes, they're watching. Thank you, Kathy and Deb. We appreciate it so much. Maybe Boston. I don't know if Boston, our dog, would count, and Phoebe, your dog. While we're at it, Kathy, whenever we play the 2 times we've played here, Kathy, Tim's wife, has made us a marvelous dinner, and holy smokes, really appreciate it. So we stop at Tim's on the way up to do this gig in Columbus, and she feeds us, and that's no small task because I eat a lot. But anyway, so for you, Kathy, one we're going to do off of our latest CD has Tim doing some stuff on the bass horn, some cool stuff. Southern Sun polka. 1, 2. Play that today. Yeah. Sun, there we go. Thank you. I talk so much that they shut the mic off on me. And I get that. I totally get it. Yeah. No, it's not your fault. I got the diarrhea of the mouth, man. As I tell my students, diarrhea of the mouth. What's your name, by the way? Christian, you're doing an awesome job. Good to see Chad as well. And Chad Barnhill here with music store in Norfolk, and he's telling us about the great things he has coming up with the marching band competition, doing what we need to do to keep the students doing things like normal. And I commend you for that. That's awesome. So thank you for your service. That's very class act of you, and good for education in the state, good for bands in Nebraska. Talk about making bands better in Nebraska. That's it. Hoi, hoi, hoi! All right, here we go. More Oktoberfest time. This is one off of our Roses for You CD, the Vinegar Polka. Vinegar. Here we go. 1, 2. And I think it's about break time, isn't it?
Yeah, you mind if I squeeze back up here with you guys?
Absolutely. Go for it, man.
Jim, you mentioned it when you were talking about Chad, and you've been teaching music for 30 years now, and you just started with a middle school, Scott Middle School in Lincoln, right?
Right.
And in June, you talked about how you were going to be starting up. This was your first year there. Now that it started with everything going on, how has that been so far?
Good. I think that a lot of people in our office and a lot of people in education that I talked to across the state, I'm on the board of directors for the Nebraska State Bandmasters Association. A lot of discussions we had outside of the organization about what's really going to happen. We thought the eastern part of the state would be shut down by Labor Day, and first quarter ends next week. I feel we're doing a tremendous job. Was it time to get back? We could talk about that and debate it, but I think it was. There comes a point where you have to move on, and the kids missed it. Like the first few days, I could really see, I hadn't bonded with them yet. I'm starting to bond with them now because, new guy, we got to stay away from him. He might have the plague, he's not cool. I'm not cool. But anyway, now that they're warming up to us, to me, but I could see the bond that they have with my coworker, Lori, and the kids missed it. They needed that. Mm-hmm. And, the first time I stood up in front of the band on the podium, it was like, wow, I missed it. I needed it. It's good for the soul. I mean, it's really good that we're back. I feel our school and Lincoln Public is doing a great job. I couldn't be more proud of what our district's doing with that. You know, we have great leadership with that, and so is it a challenge? Absolutely. You know, because we can't have the whole band play. You know, only half the band at a time. And you know, if I were a kid right now, I'd be saying, you know, right now, band sucks. I mean, it stinks. Can I say that on air? I don't know why I did.
Too late
So
now.
sorry, everyone.
Too late
Sorry,
now.
too late. But I'd be bored if I were them, you know, and they're resilient, you know. They get it, they understand, and they're working. And that's the most impressive thing, you know. There's a lot on the news, and I know this is a news channel, but there's a lot on the news negativity. But by golly, we got to look at the positive. And you know, I see the positive in my classroom every single day. You know, so I'm just proud to be teaching and working with kids, great kids, and where I am, and we're going to keep trucking.
Yeah, and music has certainly been a good outlet for people, and that's why it's nice for us. Obviously, you mentioned we're news, but having this program every night, I'm usually in the newsroom with it on the screen while I'm putting in the stories, and it lifts people up so much.
I commend what Mike and all of you are doing with this. This is a great thing. So thank you for your effort with that.
And I have to ask all three of you guys, now you're doing shows on Facebook Live, you're doing all these virtual type. Obviously, it'd be more fun if it wasn't just Chad dancing back there,
He's doing
having
a
a
good
whole
job.
crowd.
Well, I don't know. It's pretty good. But
Yeah.
But it's been since June when you're first here. Are you guys getting more used to it? Have you accepted that this is the way it's just going to have to be a lot of the time?
yeah, it's hard. You know, we took a hit.
Yeah.
I know every performing band has. You know, I think I was telling you before the gig here that, you know, we are usually traveling out of state for Oktoberfest. We fell into the Lexington thing for this past Saturday just by chance, and usually that's an open weekend for us on our Oktoberfest circuit. Anyway, we're out of state. We're in Iowa, South Dakota, all over the place, and we lost everything. You know, yes, that's a lot of money, but it's a lot of fun, spending time with great people, performing, seeing the people enjoy what we're doing and getting into it.
And seeing familiar faces. Like, we were watching a YouTube video earlier today, and it was, I don't know, probably back in the mid 90s. And I was looking through the crowd of seeing faces of people that I've seen at gigs before. And, you know, it's seeing those consistent couples and just people in general that come out to our gigs. And it's enlightening, and it makes you feel good knowing that they enjoy our music and they want to come and see us and watch us play some more, and not getting to see, you know, smiling faces back at us. It's tough, you know, just not getting to share our music with them. So
Amen, brother.
yeah.
Tim, you have something?
I was just going to say that it's, you know, we've had a lot of exciting things to do. Not during this time, unfortunately. We haven't been able to do the things we like to do. And I would encourage people to just, you know, keep your chin up. This is going to pass. You know, don't let your guard down. No, this virus is real. If it doesn't affect you, it could affect someone that you care deeply about. So we can't forget that and just assume that, well, if I get it, I'll survive and you'll move on. Maybe you will, but maybe somebody you care about won't. So, you know, we're not out of the woods yet, so stay with it. Keep your chin up. This too will pass. We've been through pandemics worse, when times were tougher, when medicine was not what we have today. So just keep trucking forward, and pretty soon we'll be, you know, sitting in Memorial Stadium cheering for the Huskers and doing all the things we like to do.
There we
So
go.
Amen, brother.
Well,
Yeah.
and if you're sitting on your couch at home, we're going to take a quick break now. When we come back, how about they get up, do some dance into your polka and your waltzes, which, by the way, I don't know the difference. When we come back, you're going to have to give me the difference. Okay, we're taking a quick break here on News Channel Nebraska. More Quarantine Tonight coming up. Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Alex. Welcome back to Quarantine Tonight. We have the Jim Kucera Band with us. Jim, I was looking in the comments. Somebody answered the question for me. Barbara Lovercheck. I wrote it down. I hope I spelled that right. She says polka's 4/4 times, waltz is 3/4 time. Is that right?
You could do it 4/4, 2/4,
2-4.
2/4, but it. Yeah, 2/4 times 2 is 4/4. Yeah, so I mean, whatever you want, however you want to look at it. Yeah, it's fine.
Well,
So-
we still have some polka and waltzes left on the schedule, so why don't we just
Absolutely.
get straight into it?
Sounds good, man. Thank you, Chris. Here we go with the Oompa Man polka, one of our recorded tunes, the Oompa. Here we go. 1, 2. That crazy, crazy Oompa Man, he's called the Oompa Man. When he oops that Oompa-pa, dig that crazy man. Ba-da-doompas, ba-da-da-da-doompa-pa, dig that crazy sound. Now hold me tight and squeeze me right as we dance around. Oh, yeah. Oompa Man. That crazy, crazy Oompa Man, he's called the Oompa Man. When he oops that Oompa-pa, dig that crazy man. Ba-da-doompas, ba-da-da-da-doompa-pa, dig that crazy sound. Now hold me tight and squeeze me right as we dance around. Dig that crazy, crazy Oompa Man. Tim on the bass horn for you. Guys, you bet. Good job. Guys, have anyone you want to send this next one out to? Looks like Tim's grabbing the mic. And
I
Josh.
do. So we want to send this out to a very good friend of ours, band leader from Wisconsin, Mr. Gary Briggan, who's the leader of Gary Briggan's Ridgeland Dutchman. He is on the mend. He had a bit of an accident and had some issues with the knee and hasn't been able to play even through the COVID. But he's been a great friend of this band. We've played together, shared the stage with him many times, and we want to send this tune out to him and hope he feels better and gets back to playing music and doing what he loves real soon.
Fantastic musician.
So.
Yeah,
Fantastic
absolutely.
musician.
Best concertina player there is. Yeah. Anyone, Josh, you want to send this out to?
Friends and family, just anyone who's watching and knows me. So
Yeah, absolutely. I know your dad's already made quite a few comments. So for Steve and Debbie Stager, need to send this out to them. And I told you we would interact. And you're like, why hasn't he said anything? You lied to us, Jim. No. Joni Havorka from Tyndall, South Dakota. We've become friends, and she was a big follower of our SDPV, social distancing polka video of the day, when I was doing that, when this all started back in March. We hope to make it to South Dakota, your neck of the woods anyway, sometime soon, Joni. And to Lorenda Polasek from LaGrange, Texas. Glad to have you on watching with us. Don Rowley watching from Michigan. So glad to have you. So, and Janet Jeffries is there, and I know a lot of my good friends in the polka band business. I mentioned Steve and Kevin Koopman's on here. So thank you. Thank you for all of your support. Thanks for being here, and thanks for asking us to come back. We appreciate it. Here we go with, this is a Frankie Yankovic tune, but it was also, talk about the Oktoberfest, this was also the theme song of the late, great Marv Herzog and his Bavarian band from Frankenmuth, Michigan. This is the Golden Pheasant Polka, Golden Pheasant. Here we go. 1, 2. The Golden Pheasant Polka.
That's a good one.
Thank you. We have to do this next one for a good friend of ours, Mr. Terry Lee Heenek from Wilbur. Terry was a longtime drummer in the band, and this is one of his favorite tunes. In fact, he recorded it with us way back in 2006 when we put out the Polka Party CD. This one will help you with your counting up to the number 9.
Waltz. It's a waltz. It's counting for a waltz, but it's a polka.
Holy smoke, I'm confused,
right?
Josh. This second, I need a drink of water for that.
All right, fair enough.
This second.
I'll drink to that too.
I'll drink to that because I'm totally confused. Prost.
Yeah, Prost, yeah.
I don't know where we were now.
Helping to count.
Helping to count. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're counting. No, we're counting literally. This will help you only count up to the number 9. It's the 1, 2, 3 polka, a little Polish tune. You know, when I first started playing polkas, I was like, that's not good stuff. I don't like that. But you know what? I listened to it more, and through the years I've learned from teaching, who am I to judge? Because, you know, why comment on the stick someone may have in their eye when I have a log in mine? It's not appropriate. So, you know, I've studied it. My good friend Chuck Stasny from Iowa, the Des Moines area, introduced me to some good Polish stuff, and there's some good things going on there. There's some collective improvisation, which I teach my kids in jazz, and the musicianship. Holy smokes. So good stuff, and I appreciate it all. And I think you have to, otherwise you're very narrow-minded. And again, who are we to judge? You know, each other. So here we go with the 1, 2, 3 polka. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, won't you polka with me? And I'll turn that frown into a smile. 4, 5, 6, a polka will fix a broken heart in just a little while. 7, 8, 9, gonna have a good time, dancing the whole evening through. Oh, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life dancing the polka with you. One, two, three, won't you polka with me? And I'll turn that frown into a smile. 4, 5, 6, a polka will fix a broken heart in just a little while. 7, 8, 9, gonna have a good time, dancing the whole evening through. Oh, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life dancing the polka with you. Oh yeah. La 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 One, two, three. Hope your counting's better to the number 9. Hope we gave you some little synopsis there to help you count that far. You bet. While we are changing pace here, what do we have here on the comments? Beaver Crossing. Thank you, Barbara, listening from Beaver Crossing. And we have Valparaiso. The handouts from Valparaiso. Thanks for being on with us. We appreciate it. Mike Chalesky, listening in Acadia, Nebraska. Great music from Don Rowley. We appreciate it so much. I'm looking on here. If anybody said accordion player, go home, just leave the tuba and drums. And I wouldn't be surprised if we had that. No. Dang, I thought I could go home early. Sorry, guys, I'm here for a little longer.
We'll deal with it.
Yep.
They'll deal with it.
It's solo time for you now.
It's, yeah, no. Nah, not this guy. All right, here we go with good old Oktoberfest tune. Kind of taught my students this today and yesterday. It was 7th graders because in the book that they're using, Essential Elements, they have the German waltz medley and Austrian waltz. And those 2 songs are in this medley. And so I told them about the importance. I sang them a little bit of the words and told them, okay, we're going to play the German Waltz Medley. And they played it. Both 7th grade bands today. It was a lot of fun. And they enjoyed it. They asked if we're going outside to play on Friday, so that way all the students can play at one time. And they asked if they could play it. And why not? You bet. So here we go with the German Waltz Medley for you. Oh, what? three. Du liegt mir im Herzen, du liegt mir im Sinn. Du machst mir viel Schmerzen, weiß nicht, wie gut ich dir bin. Ja, weiß ich, wie gut ich dir bin. Ja, weiß ich, wie gut ich dir bin. Du liegt mir im Herzen, du liegt mir im Sinn. Du machst mir viel Schmerzen, weiß nicht, wie gut ich dir bin. Ja, weiß nicht, wie gut ich dir bin. Join us from home. Ja, weiß nicht, wie gut ich dir bin. Ach, der liebe Augustin, ach, der liebe Augustin, alles ist hin. Geld ist weg, Madel ist weg, alles weg, alles weg. Ach, der liebe Augustin, alles ist hin. Oh, my dearest Augustine, oh, my dearest Augustine, everything's gone. Money's gone, girls are gone, everything. Oh, my dearest Augustine, everything's gone. Hey, for all of you good German music fans, there we go with the German Waltz medley. Hope you enjoyed that. I need a little drink of water. Cody Collins, glad to have you on with us, buddy. From people from Gretna, the Moors from Gretna, glad to have you with us. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone and their support. We have a good check tune now. We're just changing everything, styles and everything continuously here. Hope you are enjoying it at home. We sure are enjoying performing here for you today. Here's an old Jimmy Brosh tune. This tune comes from Texas. So for our friends watching from Texas, usually Walt Harfman, good friend of mine, button accordion player from Texas, is joined in watching our videos and things. So if Walt, you're on, this is for you. Jimmy Brosh tune, he composed this. This is the Corn Caco Polka. Corn Caco. Here we go. 1, 2. rosto, konopie zase stou, a jsou pěkně zelené. Rostou, konopie zase stou, a jsou pěkně zelené. Mezi nima leží sínek polámaný, kolo vody studené. Mezi nima leží sínek polámaný, kolo vody studené. První psaný napsal, sebe milence poslal, aby mu vodu dodal. První psaný napsal, sebe mnou oči poslal, aby mu vodu dodal. Otek do livora, opil nedohorává, na synačka vzpomíná. Otek do livora, opil nedohorává, na synačka vzpomíná. Druhý psaný napsal, sebe milence poslal, bych mu vodu dodala. Yeah! Druhý psaný napsal, sebe milence poslal, bych mu vodu dodala. Ona šaletem šíla, čibim vyšívala, vodičku mu přinesla. Ona šaletem šíla, čibim vyšívala, vodičku mu přinesla. Here we go! The corncockle polka for you,
That's
you
a good
bet.
one.
I see it's about the top of the hour and 20-some seconds. One more tune? Oh my gosh, all right.
Lucky we have one more.
We're lucky we have one more. I'm done though, I'm tired.
We played all we know.
We played all we know. We're repeating, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
And when people look at me in the crowd when I say that, they're like, what the heck's he talking about? We've been to his gigs before. I say tough crowd.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyway.
And just think, if you're watching this, we're thankful that you're not watching the debate. This is way better. It's far more entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Very well could be. It's good. Very could be.
Well, we're going to push our plug here, yeah.
There we go.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I picked this up. First time we heard her, Tim was on the trip. We represented the Czech culture at Festival International in Kansas City. This would have been way back when I had the Vesta Czechs band when we first started. Would have been about 1987 or so. We shared the stage with the band from Kansas City. Name was Don Lipovac. Don passed away about 3 years ago. Golly, it might be more than that. First time I heard this is an Offsnick tune, but this is the first time I heard it was by Don Lipovac. And at that time, I just knew one way of playing but an accordion, and I watched that, and I'm like, holy smokes, that instrument I'm playing can do all of that. And it really opened me up to what is possible, you know. So, again, I give credit to Don Lipovac because he's the first one that I heard play it, but it is an Offsnick tune from overseas, but great tune called the Trumpet Echoes. Trumpet Echoes. All right, here we go. You two boys. 1, 2. guys. Trumpet echoes. Applaud at home loudly for Tim and Josh on that. Great job, guys.
I can
Way
hear
to
it.
go.
I can hear it.
You can hear. I can too. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Great
so
stuff,
much.
guys. We
Thank
will.
you.
I don't know, is this on? We will take a break right now for you. I know you say it's because you need to rest, but you're just going to sneak to the bar and get another drink. I mean,
Maybe.
yeah, all three of them here. We'll take a break. Before we go, I want to remind you, send us your prayers. You may have noticed we didn't start with a prayer today. We need your prayer videos sent, even if not you. Go to church on Sunday. Take a video. All you have to do on your cell phone, turn it horizontally. Just take a video of your pastor saying a quick prayer, introduce themselves, where they're from, say a prayer. We love starting the show with those. We didn't get to do it today, but it's a great way to start the show and set the tune. We have more polka coming up on Quarantine Tonight after a quick break on NCN. Well, thank you, Jeff, keeping us up to date with the weather. Before we get back into music, you mentioned earlier, Josh, we need to talk about your grandfather.
Yeah.
I don't know this background at all.
Oh.
I tried to jot down his name. I couldn't spell the last
so,
name for the life of me.
Adolf Nemetz, and he spelled it Nemetz or Nemtz, something like that. It was different, but I mean he had a band back in probably the 50s and 60s, and I mean or even I guess even more recent than that too. But had a polka band that was well known around the Prague area.
Mm-hmm.
They played gigs, I mean, at Starlight over in Wahoo, I mean, all over the place. And I actually had, probably one of my most vague, fond memories was, I mean, very vague.
Yeah.
I was probably 6, maybe 7, and I got to go down to Oklahoma with my grandpa, my grandma, my uncle that played tuba, I want to say maybe a couple other family members too. But I got to play drums for a wedding anniversary down in Oklahoma with them. So, Grandpa passed away probably about 5-6 years ago. But so yeah, I come from a very musical background. My dad played tuba with Kucera for years. All my aunts and uncles played on my grandpa's band. Yeah, so it's definitely in our blood, and it's addicting. Like it's, for people that haven't even ever heard of polka music, or it's not a high priority for them. You can watch them, and they'll sit there and they'll tap their foot, just because it's just such a lively sounding music, and it just. What's the phrase? Happy people play.
Happy music for happy people.
Yeah, happy music for happy people. So I think that still holds pretty true. So
My brother Zach, actually coincidentally, he's in Oklahoma, but he texted me like not 10 minutes ago and said, "This music makes me want to go back to Prague."
yeah,
So
there you go. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, so it's definitely doing its job.
Yep.
And I do have to ask, what did your grandpa think of you playing? Obviously, starting so young and going to your shows. What was like his reaction? What would he say to you after watching you play?
It's been a long time since he's been to a gig, but I know he absolutely loved it. When my uncle still has the cafe in Prague, but when they moved the location, they literally moved across the street to actually on a corner. Before it was a building that was right in the middle of the street, but it was called Kolach Corner. So and I remember, growing up every Friday, and my grandpa would sit in the same spot in the back of the cafe, and he'd always have a cup of coffee with the sugar, and he'd always just sit there and he'd just sip his coffee, and he'd just be grinning ear to ear. And I know he loved the music, and I think I'm making him proud by continuing playing this music. This music and the crowd that particularly congregates for it is dying. So this is it's a dying art, and I think that still sticking it out and playing as much as we can, however whichever way we can, on TV or whether it be live on Facebook, I think it's making him pretty proud. So
There's also been plenty of, you can't see the Facebook feed, plenty of comments in there, people saying this music taking them back to their youth, people who grew up with it too. So
Yep, definitely.
a lot of people who love it in their soul here. And I'll let you guys get back to the music now, but I certainly want to hear more about just everything, you know, the history of it. Obviously, you guys all grown up with it your whole life.
Oh,
It
yeah.
means so much to you. So
Definitely.
cool to hear your side, but we'll get back into it. I'll get back to tapping my foot off camera, and you guys can get back to playing.
You know, one thing I was thinking about, you know, I started playing with Matt Slackey back in 1980. I lost track. They all blend together when you get old like me. But Matt Slackey's first band was the KLMS polka band. Your grandpa Adolph played in that band. And when Matt wanted to retire from playing, Matt sold it to Adolph.
Oh, okay.
And here we are. I mean, Adolph and Matt played together. I got my upbringing in polka music from Matt. You got it from your dad, your parents, and your grandpa, and here we are working together. You know,
Yeah, it's
Lord works in mysterious ways.
it's interesting
Amazing.
how, well, I mean, the polka community, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And it's all intertwined and just
Exactly.
it's
And I'm
one
just
big
this
family.
lone wolf that got lost in Wilbur, and yeah, it's just, you know,
I just showed up with the tuba. I
Yep.
don't know.
I had a tuba, didn't know what to do with it, so yeah.
Not true. Paul Thiel, you know, I had comment on our Facebook page. You know, we have our music set already selected and submitted and everything. So, you know, you could request tunes, but we wouldn't be able to honor them unless it happened to be in our set list. And Paul Thiel requested Beer Barrel Polka, and it happens to be in this medley we're going to play for you. And I see we have comments from Storm Lake, Iowa, Florida, people watching from Florida. Glad to have you with us. Here we go with the Beer Garden Polka Medley from our latest CD, Festival Time, with the Jim Kucera Band. Here we go. 1, 2. One Sunday afternoon, I was driving through a town, and all I had to spend was $1. I walked into a bar just to have a little drink, and you could hear that bartender holler, "No beer today, no beer today. You can't buy beer on Sunday. No beer today, no beer today. You've gotta come around on a Monday." Roll out the barrel, we'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel, we've got the blues on the run. Sing boom torero, sing out a song of good cheer. Now's the time to roll the barrel, for the gang's all here. You mentioned to me. Heaven, there is no beer. That's why we drink it here.
Right here.
When we're gone from here, our friends will be drinking all the beer. Help us out at home now. La 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 la. I can't hear you. La 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 la. My computer's shaking. Good. La 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 la. La 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 la. The beer garden polka medley for you. I heard you singing at home. That's the way to go. You betcha, baby. Here we go with more polka time. Going to do this for my family. Zach and his wife Becca, our daughter-in-law, and for our daughter Brittany, and for little Landon, Zach's stepson, Becca's son. What a great thing to be a grandparent. I tell you what. Just love that little kid to death. And before our June gig, I was practicing. We were watching him. Deb and I were babysitting for the weekend. Brought Landon down, show him the accordion, and I started singing this next song, and he joined in with me. And it was just so precious. Brought tears to my eyes. I'm getting emotional talking about it. And he still remembers the words. So, Landon, if you're watching, if you're not in bed already, sing real loud. Papa wants to hear you. Here we go with apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. 1, 2. Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. Who's not ready? Holler I. Let's all play hide and seek. Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. Who's not ready? Holler I. Let's all play hide and seek. Over here, over there, we're everywhere. First we're over here, and then we're over there. Over here, over there, we're everywhere. Let's all play hide and seek. Oh, apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. Who's not ready? Holler I. Let's all play hide and seek. Sing it, Landon. Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. Who's not ready? Holler I. Let's all play hide and seek. Over here, over there, we're everywhere. First we're over here, and then we're over there. Over here, over there, we're everywhere. Let's all play hide and seek. Oh, yeah! Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Hey, you betcha. Waltz of time. I saw during that song, I was doing what I shouldn't, but I was reading my computer.
You were playing and driving at the same time.
Oh my gosh, right? Playing and driving at the same time.
That's as bad as texting and driving.
Yeah, it
Worse.
is.
It's
I
dangerous.
promise never to do it again.
You could damage yourself with an
Mm-hmm.
accordion.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's an extra airbag.
It's an extra airbag.
Yeah. Hit it. Ouchie.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done talking.
You
for
know
the
what
night.
we forgot to do, and it's my fault. We were supposed to send that last one
Oh,
out
yeah.
to someone. Do you want to send
Yeah,
this
go
one
for
out
it.
to someone right here?
Sure. Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
We'll send this one out to Laura and Lily Levercheck.
All right.
This is which one is it?
The
Little
Little
Fisherman's
Fisherman's
Waltz. Actually, it's my favorite waltz.
It is your favorite waltz?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how about that?
Good timing.
Yep. So sorry about that. That was my fault. I got to talking loose lips, sink ships. Sorry about that. Here we go. Josh's favorite waltz, The Little Fisherman's. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Yeah. Yeah, good old Harold
That's a good
Loffelmacher
one.
tune. Harold was the leader of the Six Fat Dutchmen. He composed that one. I have the old Vitak Elsnick sheet music, piano accordion sheet music with his name as composer on it. Great tune there. Here we go with Polka Time. Going to do this for all of our friends and followers in Kansas. When we started the band back in 1984, they were some of the most supportive and influential people in our taking off as a band way back then. And, I think of the Boxes, the folks from Pilsen, so many good friends, the Chops, the Lachovskis, a lot of people, names I'm mentioning, people that are long gone, have been gone for a long time, but think of them often when we play gigs, and because they were very influential in us continuing and getting off the ground. So sending this to all of our Kansas friends, this is the Roaring Mountains polka, Roaring Mountains. Here we go, 1, 2. the zapodieli, comes the zapodieli, mojem mladé časy. Comes the zapodieli, comes the zapodieli, mojem mladé časy. Moje mladé časy neužili krásy. Moje mladé léta neužila světa. Moje mladé léta neužila světa. For the folks from Oregon watching us, thank you. From Tilden. Here we go, baby. The Roaring Mountains polka. I think we are on top of a break. We went overtime. Sorry about that, Chris.
No, you're fine. I feel bad I'm cutting off your set right in the middle. We'll make it a short break. How about that?
Whatever.
There we go.
And then when we come back, I need your guys' opinion and advice on kolache, okay? Kolache, am I saying that right?
Kolaches,
I was told kolacha. Kolache. Okay, we'll get fully into it after a quick break here. More music to come. Quarantine Tonight brought to you by UNMC. We'll be right back. Thank you, Jeff. Welcome back here on News Channel Nebraska. We have the Jim Kucera Polka Band. I'll let you guys get back to the music quickly, but I have one question really quick. So probably 3 or 4 years ago, I was in Texas with my brother. We stopped in the town of West Texas, which is the Czech capital of Texas.
Great place.
And he said, it was early, he said, you got to try this breakfast kolache. And it had a big old sausage in the middle. I haven't seen that in Nebraska. I had kolache up in Verdigris. I didn't see any of that. What's the deal with that?
That's not a kolache.
That
is not a kolache. That is a what, Josh?
It is a klobasniki.
Yes. Klobasnik is with meat, and it's a pig in a blanket.
Yeah, basically, right. Yeah. Pick
That's
whatever
what
kind
it
of
is.
meat you want,
Don't-
put it in there. It's, yeah.
You know, you disrespect the culture, in my opinion. And there's
Yeah.
been talks. I belong to a lot of Czech culture groups out of Texas and things, and there's discussion about that. You disrespect the culture by calling it, telling us
A meat
Czechs that this
kolache,
is a kolache, and it's not a kolache. And, we can just debate this sometime. I mean, if anyone out there disagrees, but a kolache has fruit filling.
Okay.
It's
Kolache
a
or fruit?
dessert
It's a dessert,
pastry, and so that's the difference.
So what Nebraska town has the best kolache? Is it Verdigris? That's what I've been told, but I'm up in northeast Nebraska.
I don't know. Josh's mom makes a pretty wicked kolache.
I
So
am ridiculously biased to my mother's kolache.
Yes, she is amazing kolache.
For my birthday, all I wanted was a dozen kolache. That's all I wanted for my birthday. I didn't want presents. I didn't want anything. I just wanted a dozen of my mom's kolache. And she makes them in Prague, Nebraska. So at Kolache Corner. So
Okay.
if anybody wants kolaches, they know where to go.
it would be sacrilege if I didn't say that my mom's are also really good because
See, I haven't
so-
tried those, so I mean,
I know. Well,
we'll have to try them.
but
All right.
Everybody's are good.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
but the fact of the matter is, your mom, my mom, all of them learned from old Czech grandmas.
Yep.
My grandma Hauser, when she would make kolaches, there was no recipe. She got flour out and sugar out and water and stuff and started mixing stuff, and pretty soon you had dough, and then she's playing around with fruit filling, and there was not
There you
one recipe at all. She just
It was all by
knew
memory.
it. It was all memory. So
Well, now you guys are
nobody
making me
cooks like that
hungry.
anymore.
Oh, they're fantastic.
If we get you guys back here, I'm expecting at least maybe a variety pack
we'll
of
see what we can do.
collage.
Yeah, we'll see what
But we are running out of time. I want more music, so let's just get back into it. The Jim Kucera Polka Band.
Get those drinks ready. I'm frozen, der Möglichkeit. I'm frozen, der Möglichkeit. 1, 2, 3, Zuffa, Zicki, Zacki, Zicki, Zacki.
Oi, oi, oi!
Zicki, Zacki, Zicki, Zacki.
Oi, oi, oi!
Guacamole.
Guacamole!
Karen.
Karen?
Who the heck's Karen?
Who's Karen? I don't know.
Zicki, Zacki, Zicki, Zacki.
Oi, oi, oi!
Prost.
Prost. Clink 'em and drink 'em.
Yes. Happy Oktoberfest time for all of you. We want to, well, that was good. That
was good.
splashed my
That's good
eye.
stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay. We have, everywhere we go new, we meet some new rowdies. Like our
Rowdies.
following. We have them, they know who they are around the Valparaiso area.
Mm-hmm.
They're our rowdies, you bet. Jackie and friends, and we met new rowdies out at Lexington. They have a good friend named Karen.
Yep.
Yes. We have rowdies everywhere we go. And so this is for all of our rowdies, all of our fans from all over that really get into what we do music-wise and really appreciate what we're doing. So thank you so very much. Every rowdy group, this is their favorite song.
Yeah.
Guacamole, 1, 2. I met her at the mercado. She was buying avocados, and man, she really turned me on. She reached for my pepper. I grabbed her tomatoes, and I knew it wouldn't be very long. She walked to the mesa. I got me a cerveza. I picked up the onions and lemon. The way she looked at me, that I could barely see, I knew it wouldn't be very long. Guacamole, guacamole,
Guacamole!
we'd be making guacamole all night long. Guacamole, guacamole,
Guacamole!
we'd be making guacamole all night long. She headed for the line, and I fell in right behind. And man, she sure looked good to me. She reached for her money. I said, wait a minute, honey. I believe this one is on me. She got in my pickup. We started to back up. We headed on down the road. We went to mi casa, had tortillas de masa, and made guacamole all night long. Guacamole, guacamole,
Guacamole!
we'd be making guacamole all night long. Guacamole,
Guacamole!
guacamole,
Guacamole!
we'd be making guacamole all night long. Guacamole, guacamole,
Guacamole!
we be making guacamole all night long. Guacamole, guacamole,
Guacamole!
we be making guacamole all night long. guacamole. Yeah, from our latest recording, for all of the rowdies
All
we
the
have
rowdies.
out there. All the rowdies. And for Karen. We can't leave Karen out. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Well,
That made it on our last CD by accident. We had extra time, and the guy said, "How about guacamole?" And I'm like, yeah, seriously. And I was like, seriously?
Thursday.
Seriously. And son of a gun, shucks, isn't it? It's like
That's pretty popular.
It's the most popular tune on that new CD. Gosh darn. Who would have thought? I can't explain it.
Hey, people
Maybe
like
you can.
people like guacamole.
People like guacamole, and I have a lot of claps, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap on Facebook. That's the comments. Clap, clap, clap for guacamole. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We appreciate clap.
Yes, we appreciate clap. Clap. Clap is good. What do we have, Tim?
How about a little Rainbow Mountain?
Waltzing Time. This is a tune, a Ray Dorschner tune. The late, great Ray Dorschner, composed by his son Jim, the late, great Jim Dorschner. He passed away suddenly about a year ago, right about the time he was supposed to start teaching band camp up in Wisconsin, and both great musicians. If you haven't been to YouTube and subscribe to the Ray Dorschner and the Rainbow Valley
Fantastic.
Dutchman station on YouTube, you need to.
It's
Amazed. There'll
fantastic.
never be another band like that. They were like the most musically, oh my gosh. I mean, I can't explain
Yeah.
it. They were just amazing. Anyway, this is one that Ray composed, and we're going to send this to a friend of mine from Wisconsin, now lives in Wisconsin, Connecticut. He lives in Wisconsin, from Wisconsin. No, he lives in Connecticut now. He moved to Connecticut about the time the pandemic started. For Tim, he recorded the tuba on this from Wisconsin. His last name left me for a moment there. But anyway, it'll come back to me. But he played tuba on it with the Ray Dorschner Band. This is the Rainbow Mountain Waltz. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Tim Morrissey. This is for you, Tim Morrissey. You bet, the Rainbow Mountain. And if you didn't hear, after we started the song, I remembered one of those senior moments. For those of you that understand out there, isn't it great? It's fantastic.
It's a success.
It's there, and then it's gone. And it's like, come back, come back. So that was for Tim Morrissey, a good friend of mine. And he was on the tuba on that recording when Ray recorded it way back many years ago. What do we have next, Timmy? The Schmaltz polka. Schmaltz. Anybody, you guys want to send this one out too? No? Yeah? Yeah?
No.
We're all sent out, aren't we?
That's all the people I know.
Yeah, I only know about 6 or 7. So
I guess I would send it out to all those folks back where I work. I work for NPPD, and I have an awful lot of support from that organization, and to all of the folks who work for me. And I sent them a note this morning and said if they were bored and didn't have anything else to do tonight, that they could probably listen to this. So not sure how many of them did. I did get a couple texts, but I have a great group, a great bunch of folks to work with, and for them, the Schmaltz Polka.
Absolutely. I want to send this out to my coworkers at Scott Middle School. I had my accordions with me because I had to leave after I was allowed to leave from school and drive straight here. And so I stored them in the office, our music office, and I gave them a little button accordion lesson, and they were jamming to it. So for all of my coworkers, they're the best. So here we go, the Schmaltz Polka. 1, 2. Send this out to Ron Dalton, good friend of mine. Ron Dalton. The Schmaltz Polka. We have
That's a good one.
people watching from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hey, that's awesome.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for your nice comments. We appreciate it so very much. How about, what do we have? Opica, maybe, huh? The Opica.
One more?
Yeah, maybe. Here we go. 1, 2. The Opitsa polka. Chris.
That was awesome. We're coming up on 10 o'clock. Alex Loroff is standing by in the studio for news update. He'll pick that up. Before we go, I want to let you know that tomorrow night, I want to remind you, no volleyball, instead a replay. It's going to be Katie Lynn and the Corkers, a replay of their great performance. So that's tomorrow night from 8 to 10. We hope you'll join us. Special thank you to UNMC helping make this all possible, and a special thank you to Mike Flood. He's usually the one hosting, so he doesn't get the thanks. That man, I've never met someone who loves Nebraska like Mike Flood. That man does so much. Oh, okay. You wish Mike was here? No,
you are awesome.
Being serious, though.
We've really broken you in.
Yeah, yes. No, Mike Flood, he loves the state. He does so much for it. This was his idea early on in coronavirus. I'm not going to lie, some of us gave him a funny look. We didn't know how it turned out. It has been great. He's so busy, but he finds time. I think this is only his third show that Mike hasn't hosted. He finds time every single night to do it. I know he's wishing he was here tonight. He loves the polka show. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, NMC, for making this all possible. The Jim Kucera Band, why don't you guys just play us out and tell news?
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's been commenting. We have people from Gonzales, Texas. So thank you for being along on the ride with us this evening. So thank you so very much. What do we have, guys? Theme song? Here we go with our theme song, the Praha polka. I send this out to my wife, Deb, as well. The Praha. Second time block. Here we go. 1, 2. Thank you so very, very much. God bless everyone. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Did we need more music, or Chris has got either he thinks we're number one, or
No, I think Jim just wanted to hear himself talk a little bit more. Is
no, I don't. Absolutely not.
I do really quickly, each of the three of you, I want to hear what your favorite song that you played tonight was.
Oh, all of them. They're all good.
Okay,
It's gotta
no,
be,
that's-
it's got to be all of them. That's got to be all of them.
We need a real answer.
I like
we'll
the
start over there.
variety. I like the variety. I love playing the variety. I know some people maybe don't like hearing, a traditional Czech band playing the German and the Slovenian, but Polish. But to go where we go and the opportunities we get, the three of us, we have to do that. And we're going to continue to do that. We'll never forget our Czech roots. We never will.
Right.
That'll always be near and dear to our hearts. But the variety, the Slovenian, German, and Polish stuff.
It's easy for me. Trumpet echoes.
Trumpet echoes, yeah.
Trumpet
That's a good
echoes.
one.
I like 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Because
One, two,
just because
three.
I can count to 3, that's it.
He gets to relearn how to count every
Yeah,
time.
every time.
That's our song for the Sesame Street crowd.
Every
Yeah.
time. Right.
Is
One, two,
is
three.
there a preference over waltz versus polka? Polka.
Polka by far.
Easy.
I mean, there's a few waltzes, like one of my favorite waltzes is the one we played in the first set, when we parted. I mean, I like that one. That's a
That's a good
beautiful
Czech
waltz.
song, yep.
Yeah.
Rainbow Mountain's a good waltz.
Yeah, Rainbow Mountain's a good waltz. I really liked, I had a girlfriend waltz that we put on the Roses for You CD, the Moravanka waltz. That's a beautiful waltz. There's some just beautiful melodies out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess the only thing I would add is to for the audience is that once pandemic passes and live music starts again, please go support the
Yes,
live music.
That's
I mean,
fantastic.
as Jim mentioned, this is kind of a dying art, and I mean live music of any kind. It doesn't matter what it is. Artists have been away. It's not the same playing on Facebook, playing on TV, playing on whatever. So when the live music is back, go out, support it, be enthusiastic. We feed off that energy from the crowd. We're no different than Garth Brooks when he performs. So, and we're in that same category. We have, we draw the same number of fans about. So, but no, please support the live music because it is something that the artists truly relish, and we wouldn't do this if it wasn't for fans. So,
Right.
And I think people are certainly ready to have that part of life back when the time does come. So we'll be patient and hold off. It is 10 o'clock. We're a little bit past. Alex might be a little
And good
upset
job
back
to
in the
you.
studio.
Pleasure
Thank
working
you.
with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It is time for news on News Channel Nebraska.